Most people wait until they feel motivated before they take action. They wait for the perfect mood, the perfect energy, the perfect moment to begin. But the uncomfortable truth is this: motivation is temporary. It rises quickly and disappears just as fast. The people who succeed consistently understand something most people never learn. Motivation starts the journey, but discipline finishes it. Think about the last time you felt highly motivated. Maybe you wanted to start training, start a new project, learn a new skill. At that moment, everything felt possible. You imagined the results, the progress, the transformation, but then something happened. The excitement faded, the routine became harder, and suddenly the task didn't feel as inspiring as it did on day one. This is where most people stop, not because they lack ability, but because they relied on motivation instead of discipline. Motivation is driven by emotion, and emotions are unstable. They rise and fall depending on stress, sleep, energy, and environment. If your progress depends on motivation, your progress becomes unpredictable. One day you feel unstoppable, the next day you feel exhausted. The problem isn't laziness. The problem is relying on a system built on feelings. High performers understand this early. They remove emotion from the equation and replace it with discipline. Discipline works differently. Instead of asking, "Do I feel like doing this today?" Discipline asks a different question. Is this part of the system? Once something becomes part of a system, it happens automatically. Elite athletes train even when they feel tired. Top musicians practice even when progress feels slow. Successful entrepreneurs work on their systems even when results aren't immediate, not because they feel inspired, but because the routine exists regardless of emotion. Discipline becomes powerful when it turns into habit. Habits reduce mental resistance. Instead of deciding every day whether to act, the action becomes automatic. Think of brushing your teeth. You don't debate whether to do it. You just do it. The same principle applies to training or studying. When discipline creates habits, progress becomes inevitable. Small actions repeated daily compound into massive results. This is where most people underestimate discipline. They look for dramatic results quickly, but discipline works slowly at first. Then suddenly everything accelerates. A single workout seems small, but hundreds of workouts reshape the body. A single practice session feels minor, but years of practice create mastery. The difference between average and elite performance is consistency. The key mental shift is simple. Stop asking whether you feel ready. Start asking whether the task is part of the system. Motivation says, "I'll start when I feel inspired." Discipline says, "I start because it's time." This small mental change separates temporary effort from long-term achievement. Motivation is exciting. It creates powerful beginnings, but discipline builds unstoppable momentum. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you moving, and consistency transforms effort into results. In the long run, the people who win are rarely the most motivated. They're the most consistent, because discipline turns effort into identity, and once discipline becomes part of who you are, progress becomes inevitable.